Welcome to the Kult Creator Experience. Successful content creation to build powerful connections. A podcast designed to help passionate experts and entrepreneurs launch a podcasting platform, successfully build a following, and become industry leaders. Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm the founder of KULT Media and the host of this podcast. I'll be sharing my experience and insights of over 15 years of content creation, and along the way I'll be seeking out other cult creators to learn from their wisdom and expertise. In today's episode, we are continuing our journey through the coach step of my Kult Creator Experience. This time we are focusing on the most important factor for a cult leader: people. And in this phase of development, we will discover who you are creating content for. And before we seek out our followers, please take a second to follow us on Instagram at @cult.media and on your podcasting app of choice. Now that we understand the ways you can profit from podcasting, we've done the personal development to find out who you are and your why. Next, we need to identify your followers, your people. Who are they? Who would you like to work with? What kind of person are they? This phase is both content strategy and really intensive market research. We need to find the audience, or at least a glimpse of an interest in your passion or idea. In the personal phase of development in the creator experience, you should have identified who you would like to work with. We build on this to create an ideal client or audience avatar. This can be built with demographics in mind, interests, hobbies, search engine data, and other market research. And once we've compiled our stats and behaviours of our avatar, we can establish where they hang out. Are they on social media, forums? Do they go to events? Are they using certain apps? With this information, it's now time to start to engage, ask questions, and begin to develop your interview and presentation skills. Do not become discouraged if you find yourself feeling like your content offers a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. After all, we would still be stood on the side of the street waving at cabs or calling a grumpy lady called Sue at the taxi rank if Uber wasn't thought of. The feedback you'll get from talking to your target audience will help you identify pain points, habits, and opinions. And as a cult leader, you need to know what people think, feel, and desire. Tips for honest feedback. I have found in my own people phase of development that it can often be hard to engage your audience directly until you have something to share. For example, I sought out to understand why passionate experts and entrepreneurs hadn't already launched a podcast or a content platform of their own. I headed to the business and entrepreneur groups across Facebook, LinkedIn, and forums. And I asked the question directly to these groups. And that was a massive mistake. The only people that replied were the ones that wanted to be seen. I got comments about why I was asking, or about their successes, or that I was just spamming the group, when I genuinely wanted to help. So I went back to my audience avatar, and I thought hard about who I'm trying to help. And it was on reflection that I realised my approach was all wrong. Nobody wants to put their hand up and admit that they're not doing something, especially when it could make their business or life better. I was asking people to admit that they hadn't taken action, and what I needed to do was understand their dreams, their goals and objectives. And from there, I could suggest how becoming a cult creator could help them achieve those. Another example is listening to your inner circle too much. The closest people to you, your friends and family, will always give you biased opinions. They will either give you incredibly misleading positivity or protective and cautious words of warning. Either way, they are never truly objective. Go outside your immediate bubble and seek out an opinion from those that have no skin in the game and that could be a client. This will give you a clearer understanding of what your audience want and how they expect to receive it. Language. Another consideration when identifying your ideal follower is language. After years of producing voiceovers for TV, radio, adverts, and branded content, I've learned that language can completely change how your brand is perceived. Pay careful attention to how your audience uses language and what language they respond to. You can determine this by identifying the other media they consume, how they write on social media, websites they visit, and professional publications they sign up for. If you find that some of your followers use language in one way and others use it in another, this can be really useful to know for your content. You may create content to suit different audience members. And a good example of this is don't swear if your audience doesn't swear. It makes complete sense. Don't use slang if your audience doesn't use slang. Make sure that people are spoken to the way they're accustomed to. It just makes the process so much easier. In summary of the people phase of development, you can't have much of a cult if you don't have any followers. People are the underlying reason for your brand or business. They are the people that you will invest your time and effort into solutions to their problems. Make sure you understand what their current situation is and where they would like to be, and you should exist to fill the gap between these 2 points. And understand how people speak and how they like to be spoken to. This should be a guideline for your content creation moving forward. So that's it. Go forth, find your fans, your fanatics, your advocates. Let me know how you get on and what you learned from them. I'd like to thank you for listening and being part of the Kult Creator Experience. I'm always happy to get feedback. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, please reach out to me. And if you want to start your own Kult Creator Experience and become a cult leader in your industry, head to cult.media to get your free strategy session. And until next time, be good.